Here we are once
Hello.
again on opposite sides of the pond
Yep.
and two separate screens.
Yep.
This is not fun.
No.
What is up, Andy?
Hello. No, I there was so much fun. Oh, Paul, what is up, my brother?
Miss you.
We miss you so much. It was so much fun doing it like together.
It was. It felt, even though we were in like compact space and we were just kind of like looking at each other, it did feel like we were on like an actual show, like in, you know.
It did, and we were going to do it again.
We were, but you know the thing about something called Star Wars Celebration destroyed us.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
Thank you, I appreciate it, my dearly.
Hello.
So is it. You took 600 pictures and 30 videos of. Okay, so if that's the case, send it my way.
Yeah, me too, man.
Sheena.
So yeah, so we were going to do it again. Like
we were, but
at first we were like, we'll do it
really
Saturday
exhausting.
night, and then we ended up going out Saturday night.
Yeah, it was just, well, not even that. It took us forever to get out of Excel Saturday. We went to a pub to get food, and then we ended up drinking. And then by the time we got back, we were just exhausted because we had to go back the next day. So we didn't think about that.
No.
And I mean, when it came to Sunday, we're just like, oh, that's okay. It came to Monday, we're like, oh, we'll probably do it. And we're just like, no, because like the next morning I had to fly out early. Like we were all back in our schedules and shit. It was just, we were just like, we'll just combine the two episodes. And
also there was a slight issue because on the Friday of Star Wars Celebration, I was lucky enough to go and watch.
Let me roll my eyes and sip my tea at this one.
I was lucky enough to go and watch the next episode of Mandalorian that night, that Monday night. So that Friday night, sorry. So that was for the coming Wednesday. So I couldn't really talk about it that weekend because I'm dumb as all hell and mixed up both episodes together. I'm glad you did. Right? So it was just like I couldn't really talk about it in the same way.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't, like, quite often, obviously, we sit here and we speculate about what's going to happen. And I couldn't.
And you were just like, I know.
I mean, like.
You would have been like bombastic side-eyed, I know.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe we can't do it anyway because I know too much. But now we've all seen that.
Now we've all seen it. And we're going to go through chapters 22 and 23, which I'm not going to lie, both were actually pretty good episodes. Both really lengthy, by the way, because like obviously we've had an episode where it's been like 30-ish minutes. One was like 35 minutes. These were both over 40.
Yep.
And since it's like now the tail end of the season, literally we have one episode left of The Mandalorian. I'm not surprised because now they're trying to pack in all the good shit towards the end. But let's start with chapter 22, which is, I think if I'm not mistaken, I know the name of it, Guns and Ships or Guns and Roses. Guns for Hire, that's what it is.
Guns and Roses. In which they welcomed to the jungle and by the end of it, they were knocking on heaven's door. Am I right?
Absolutely. Especially, I mean, yeah, just okay. So once we're back on, I think we're on Navarro?
Yes.
The last thing we saw was Bo-Katan leaving to go find more Mandalorians, visit to Paradise City. And she's, the rest of the clan is like just chilling there, kind of like getting everything together. And we enter this beautiful city, which this is the one thing I do love about Star Wars is there's so many planets out there that we have not explored, we have not seen.
We keep coming back to Tatooine. Leave it alone. Leave the
Outer Rim alone.
Yeah.
Let's go more to the mid-rim. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Paradise City was such a nice planet. It was beautiful. I mean, granted, it was under the Empire at some point. But it was brought, it was basically like rebuilt and repurposed. It kind of reminded me of, if you're a Legend of Korra fan here watching right now, it kind of reminds me of how the Metalbenders rebuilt this brand new city for Earthbenders and Metalbenders alike to, I don't know, flourish. And that's kind of what I felt like this kind of did for the people. And repurposed the droids and repurposed the people and made everyone kind of a family, and everyone have like a job. Like, you know, everyone had a purpose in the city.
Yep.
Like everyone, there's not one homeless person, if that made sense. Like everyone had a purpose, everyone was kind, and it was being ruled by the beautiful, beautiful Queen Lizzo herself. And I know people are going to shit about it in the comment section, but listen, number one, she is beautiful. Number two, she's an Emmy, Grammy winning artist. And she's a Star Wars fan. Like, oh, what's up, man? I was about to say, I'm surprised that he wasn't the first comment.
I know.
But yeah, so like, Lizzo was it, and then she is married to the great Jack Black.
I love Jack Black so much.
Ultimate Star Wars fan. Star Wars fan. Like at this point, like just if you're a Star Wars fan and you're an actor, just get yourself in Star Wars and somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people moaned about it in the comments and in online because they were just like, "Why are we adding all these people? We're just letting anybody onto Star Wars nowadays." And I'm like,
yeah. If they're good actors, then why not?
Exactly. And so
why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take some of the best actors that we have?
Would you want to take actors that hate Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like,
and the two of them together, I mean, Jack Black chews scenery like there's no tomorrow in anything he does in the best possible way, and he was loving it, and you could see she was loving it as well. They were both just absolutely all into their characters, just going and
they
having
honored
fun.
They honored it very well. Like Lizzo was really, I'm not saying she was really trying, but like she definitely, I can definitely feel like she was putting in her all to make this character believable, live, realistic. And it was crazy because a lot of her fashion choices reminds me of what Queen Amidala used to wear from Phantom Menace, but in a more digitalized way. Because, like, you know, her train
was incredible.
Was insane. I was just like, who thought of this? I love it. But yeah, so Grogu, Bo-Katan, and Mando Din are all there just being like, hey, so we have a problem. We hear you have a problem. Let's try to get it fixed. And all of a sudden, Liz was like, screw that. I want to hold the baby.
Yeah.
And Din's like, no, he doesn't like anyone carrying him. And then literally she throws one little piece of food, jumps into her arms. And I'm like, I can see it. This is also the beginning of like Grogu rebelling against Din. Like being like, Dad, I love you, but let me do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my thing.
I love it. And then what happens next? Like, aren't they tasked with like saying something's going wrong with the droids?
With the droids.
Yeah, on like, their planet.
So we need you to find it. There was an issue with this part. I have to say, I really enjoyed this episode as a whole, but
Jim has to moan about something, so let's hear it.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a moan. You'll agree with me when I say this, right? So they were like, oh, we need help with our droid problem. And Bo-Katan's like, you've got essentially an army just outside your thing. And they're like, yeah, but we're not allowed guns or anything in here. And they're like, well, we came in with guns. Yeah, but you're Mandalorians. And it's part of your religion. The guys outside they're also Mandalorians. It's also part of their religion. So surely they can come in?
Make it make sense.
I didn't understand why they were like, no, those ones can't come in, but you particularly can. I was
maybe because they were the one, like, even though they say that they're Mandalorians, they're saying like they're a different kind of Mandalorians.
Well, they're guns for hire, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they're still Mandalorians. Like, if you make exception for Bo-Katan, who was essentially their leader.
Basically, yeah.
Then, I don't know. It was just the one thing I was just like, you're all Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. If you're allowed in, they're allowed in. Anyway, that's literally the only problem I had with this entire episode.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty, I mean, it was a pretty straightforward episode. It kind of was one of those, it wasn't like it didn't feel like a side quest to me, like you know, what we deal with on the Bad Batch. But it was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like tedious. They kind of like had to go in circles a little bit, like Bo and Din, because like they were just like, Star Wars Sith agrees with you. Valid point. Makes sense. I missed that. They were basically like trying to find those group of creatures that Din dealt with on the first season.
Ugnaughts.
Yeah. He's like, we gotta find them. And then he literally said, I'm friends with this guy. And then all of them were just like,
I mean, you're skipping over the main part, which was the introduction of Christopher Lloyd.
Listen, I was trying to get to that, but I wanted to give him like enough time. But okay,
I mean,
we'll go straight into it. Christopher Lloyd also joins us in this episode, and
Doc Brown,
Doc Brown, Fester Adams, oh God, what's his name from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Icon overall. Dune, yes.
Oh, and he's also in Suburban Commando, but I'm probably the only person who remembers that. That was a film that also featured Hulk Hogan. It was terrible.
Yes, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But yeah, that was literally, I think it was Detective Doom or like Mayor Doom or something like that. He was a tune. It was that movie was a trip. That movie was a trip. But it was so cool to see him again, because at first I heard his voice and I was like, wait a minute. They did not get Chris Lloyd into this episode. Because I was just like, not only is that two celebrities, or not, I mean, two, I don't want to say cameos, but two big names in an episode. You now have a third big name in an episode. I'm like, this episode, spent a lot of money. You're spending money. Because now I'm just waiting. I'm like, is there a fourth? Like, who's the next one? Like, I'm now expecting more people to show up. So it was really, really nice to see him. And he was, like, yeah, we have a droid issue, but you have to go find this person to get it done, or to see if they can handle it. And they're just like, okay. And it was basically kind of like a game of find and seek. Not hide and seek, but find and seek. Like, you have to find this person, seek what they're doing. And then, since we have to cover 2 episodes, do you want to talk more about this episode or really get into the next episode? Because I can make this one really quick.
Let's just go through this one. I think everybody wants to talk about the next one. Because
okay, so I'll get through this really, really quick.
Even though it was kind of side questy, this episode was a tale of two parts, I would say. Like, you had their quest that was still important. It was still an important part of the story because it ingratiated them with this entire nation of people. And they helped them, and they rooted out Christopher Lloyd being the bad guy again.
Yeah.
Again, right in your face. He's right there.
The entire time he was just sitting there. Yeah,
they chased down robots. They sorted it out, and then at the end, Jack Black and Lizzo were very, very happy with them, and she knighted Grogu, which was amazing.
He's a knight,
as it should be. He's a knight.
He's a cute little patootie. But once they're finished with that, because let's get to the real
meat in the sandwich.
Exactly. Yeah. They get to the areas where all the I was going to call them Mando mercs, because that's actually what the official Star Wars group is that actually was at Celebration. Yeah. They're Mando mercenaries, I feel. Guns for hire. But yeah, they see Bo-Katan and they're just like, you here to join? You here to come back? Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm here to reclaim you all, because guess what, bitches? You are mine. Like I own you all, not in those words really, but
that would have been cool though.
That would have been sick. I would have been so cool. Katie saying that would have been like, she would have, it would have fit. The writers do better next time. Yeah. But basically, what was the guy? What was the guy she was opposing with? What's the name of his? Axe Wolf, right? Okay.
Wolves.
So
Wolves.
Oh, wolves.
Yeah, get it right.
Get it tight. Okay, get her. Sorry, I had to say it. But he's basically like, well, you don't own the Darksaber, so we can follow you. He has it. So it's technically whoever is owning the Darksaber rules Mandalore. And Bo's like defeated because, like, once again, she's like, they're not going to listen to me. And then Din.
That doesn't happen then.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have a fight first.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, they fight each other off.
Yeah, because she's like, I want to challenge you to rule.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, because they're essentially Death Watch.
They are.
And she's like, I'm the ruler. And he's like, they're following me now. And she's like, right, well, the way we solve this is by having a Barney. And so they have a Barney. Visitors not living on the planet. Potentially, but they should have said that. And they had a Barney, and Bo wins because she's absolute badass. And then when she's got him on the floor and she's got the knife next to his neck, he's like, they'll never follow you because you don't have the Darksaber.
Oh, yes.
Is when she gets up, lets him up. And Din's like, well,
actually,
technically,
if you want to be technical with it,
yeah, I was defeated. I had it. She then defeated that thing, and this is rightfully hers, which I'm cool with. Except I do have one more little problem.
Let's hear it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi defeated Tar Vizsla while he was wielding the Darksaber, which means technically Kenobi should have had the Darksaber after him, which means that every single person after that
is invalid.
Is an imitator to the throne. Yeah. Sorry.
That's just no, don't be sorry. That's technicalities, but obviously,
because if you're going to use that as a technicality to say that Bo-Katan has the Darksaber, and I'm totally cool with it. I absolutely. Someone else has been defeated and didn't claim it. So
right.
Easy. Hey, is. So yeah.
No, I agree. The that's actually I completely like missed that in my own brain. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that means
Is it Tar Vizsla or was it Pre-Vizsla?
Pre-Vizsla.
Pre-Vizsla.
Yeah, it's Pre-Vizsla. The Vizsla's it's 3 letters and then Vizsla. That's all I know.
But Tar Vizsla was the first Vizsla, wasn't he?
Yeah. Pre-Vizsla is who Kenobi was with
Pre-Vizsla
the entire time. Yeah.
Got defeated by Kenobi. Kenobi's the rightful owner to the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Which means, if you want to get really technical about it, Vader would then be the owner of the Darksaber.
Oh God! I mean, Vader
and then
leader of the Mandalorians.
Whoa! And then technically, Palpatine killed Vader, so Palpatine would have it, right? Then, we're going. Rey defeated Palpatine, so it's Rey's. There you go.
I gotta take a sip of something. Everyone take a sip of a drink that you have in front of you right now, because that was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There you go. That's how we roll.
Hold on. Going back to the episode, because then we'll discuss this later. Because I have a lot of questions regarding that, but we need to stick onto time.
Okay.
So yeah, back to that. Din literally tells them the whole scenario that as a technicality, technically the Darksaber is supposed to be Bo's. And he's literally like, is that not true? isn't that correct? And then they're just like, yeah, technically that's correct. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not that I don't think that Din ever should have had it. I think that he never wanted it.
Oh,
he never cared to learn it. He never cared to learn it. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, if returning back to Bo, I was kind of like, you know what? She kind of really wants it more than he does. So I'm okay with this technicality if you're all okay with it. Hold on. Luke beat Vader. We will discuss this at a different time.
Technically, he didn't. Like,
we will discuss this at a different time. Moving on. So Bo-Katan now has a black.
No, I'm not finished.
Oh, in that case,
I mean, he did defeat him. You're right. He didn't technically kill him. Palpatine killed him. But he did defeat him before Palpatine killed him. So Luke would be the rightful owner. No one defeated Luke. So, it's no one's. Because Kylo didn't defeat Luke. Luke defeated himself. So it's still Luke's.
He committed suicide. Listen, oh my God. The most iconic person at Celebration was Darth Jar Jar.
Oh, right.
I saw him everywhere. That and the Muppets geriatrics that were just hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
My favorites.
Yeah.
But moving on. So now Bo-Katan has the Darksaber. She's bringing her group of Mandalorians to Navarro to meet their Mandalorians. And now we're on to the next episode, which Jim got to see early as to the other people who got into the Lucasfilm panel, which this is my words to you. I'm holding a finger. You can't see it on camera.
Not just the Lucasfilm panel. I got into the celebration stage for Lucasfilm panel. So, come on.
It's still up, by the way.
Yeah.
So now we're in the next episode 23, the Spies. And that alone already gives me too many, like, thoughts in my head.
Oh, I've got thoughts.
I have so many thoughts, especially the things I've been seeing online about this episode, because everything is now, the dots are now connecting, right? Yeah. So now Bo has brought everyone back to Navarro. And my favorite thing, I'm just going to shout this out right now. This is the most American thing. I don't know if this happens very often in Europe, but of course, if you move into a new place and you're going to a friend's house, or you have a friend's having a housewarming party, you technically bring like a bottle of wine, or you bring like a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite is that Creep Garga is like bringing like this bottle of expensive Coruscant wine to Mando. He goes, "Welcome to Navarro." And he's like, "Don't open it just now because it's really expensive and it's really like vintage." Sorry, I had to laugh at that. That was like, I felt that. I was like, I've done that way too many times when people move into places. And that felt like very American for me. I don't know why, but that was really funny to see that. But yeah, now the Mandalorians are all together on the same planet. And it was very interesting because they actually showed up with their helmets off. And I'm like, I don't know if they were doing that as a sign of respect, or they were literally going to be like, then they ended up taking it off and being like, we don't follow your way.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that wasn't them.
No, it wasn't them. No, it was too small. It was way too small. Like, it was a big creature. It looked like, like an Eope. You know what Kenobi rode at the end of Kenobi? Yeah. Looked like one of those. Had a long neck. But it definitely wasn't their babies.
I was about to say, because I was just like, we just got them.
There's no way they would have saved them to then just eat them.
And not even to that, to saute them and barbecue them.
Yeah, seems harsh. While the others are watching.
So bad.
Like,
but yeah, so like the armor is like, you are welcome to make camp here. Enjoy. And of course, tension still exists because these are the Mandalorians, like the ones that Bo-Katan brought. These are the Mandalorians that are not okay with the way of the Mandalorians. They don't follow the ancient religion. They're very like new, not newer, but like they definitely don't follow that path. And of course, the Mandalorians that follow the path are staring at them just like this. These are just mockeries to us. But for the most part, they are pretty much neutral. They're not doing anything to like set anybody off.
They're all on their best behavior.
They're all trying their best.
Yeah.
They're doing what they can. And Bo-Katan finally comes out and says, it is time to reclaim Mandalore, and comes up with a plan to return to the planet. And when doing so, basically hovering at an altitude where the major fleet will be at, and then talking about the plan,
like a scout party,
setting like a scout team to make sure that everything's okay, and then more people will go down there. But right as this is happening, we are seeing something on Coruscant. We're seeing my lovely lesbian. That's what I like to call her. And she's just walking very... Oh, that's my dog. Like, what's the cone?
I mean, you have skipped over the opening of this episode.
That was the opening, wasn't it? When she was walking.
Oh yeah, it was. Sorry. When we were in the celebration stage, they showed this bit first. Like they showed us an extended part of it. Sorry, I forgot. I got confused.
No, the really reason why I was bringing the Mandalorian talk first, because like we had just finished that episode, so like connecting those parts together. But going back to Coruscant, we're seeing her walking in an alleyway, being very, very, sketchy and shady. And when the episode was called The Spy, I'm like, oh, this is probably her. Like, she probably always was on the Empire side. Like, she never 100%. Actually 100%. Transitioned to the New Republic. And then the second I saw the Imperial probe droid, I'm like, here we go. And once I saw this, the hologram, I'm like, I knew it. That was like that episode of Modern Family where Sofia Vergara was like, I knew it. And we see our lovely Moff Gideon once again. And he's just like, what is going on? What happened with the doctor? And the doctor's like, the doctor's busy. Like, he's fine. Don't worry about him. Like, but here's the problem. We have an issue with the Mandalorians all coming together on Navarro. And he goes like, great.
Nah. They'd never do that.
They would. He goes like, no, they're all together right now. And
the thing is, though, how does she know that they're all together?
Because remember when that pilot went to give the heads up to the Mandalorians?
But that was just the outcasts. That wasn't all of them.
I think someone from the Paradise City said something to the Republic. I think so, because at that point, I've got
a different theory, but okay.
I mean, I know what your theory is, and I know it's everyone's theory, but like,
she's suspect. I'm telling you, sus.
Okay, we're just gonna get the cat out of the bag.
It's the armor.
And the armor is sus. She's sus, man.
And I don't want her to be, because I love her so much. But she always conveniently happens to not be in the place.
She was not there when the Mandalorians were being attacked, season 1. She was the one to push Bo-Katan, being like, go find the rest of the Mandalorians and bring them here. And then all of a sudden, I mean, this happens in the later part of the episode, but then all of a sudden she like gets up and leaves before, all the shit really goes down. So very, very sus. And then obviously, like, I won't spoil the last part. We'll get to that towards the end. But I know I'm calling it Paradise City because to me it's a paradise, and I don't know why. Jim can't read the comments.
Oh, I can. I can see the comments. I'm fine. It's everybody else that can't see the comments. So, like, all these wonderful people that we have talking to us in the comments, you never share it.
I'm sorry. We're just so into the episode.
Sure,
I'm so into the episode. But yeah, going back, I won't talk about the rest of like the last part of what the armorer does. just because we're not at that part of the episode yet. I don't trust her. She's going to end up being. She's just sus, man. She's just, sussy boots. I just don't like her. Like, and it's sad because like she was a really cool character to admire. Like you thought she was like, she was the one advising Din this entire time. She was the one that basically told him saying, you don't follow the way anymore because you took off your helmet. And in order to do so, you have to travel back to the waters of Mandalore. And it just kind of like.
Yeah, but the reason she sent him back there is to give him to Moff Gideon.
Yeah, and that part didn't happen. At that
she
point,
had to come up with a whole new plan.
She had to come up with a whole new plan.
Like, it could be your classic, like double bluff, and it's not her at all. It could be somebody else.
It could be something completely.
I mean, until this episode, I would have put some money on Paz Vizsla. Maybe not now. That was sad. That was so sad. So sad. Absolute legend. Such
a legend, and we'll get to what he did towards the in a little bit. But yeah, now we're so now Moff Gideon is aware that the Mandalorians are coming together, and he's like not shaking his boots, but he's like, okay, now his plan that he was delaying a little bit now has to come into action immediately. Yeah. So he goes to his council, which basically is remnants of the Empire. But if you notice and look around, these technically become the pillars of the First Order in the future. Because one of the characters we see, his name is Brendol Hux, last name Hux, father of General Hux, General Armitage Hux, and they all hate the New Republic. I love how that stays in the family.
Yeah, for sure. Also, played by the brother of the real
Brendan. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Gleason family is just.
The minute I heard his voice, I was like, "That's his brother."
Yeah,
I was just because they sound exactly the same.
I was staring at him. I'm just like, I don't know if you know this, but you look like this actor called Brendan Gleeson. And then I kept looking closer, and then I looked up on the IMDb credits, and I'm like, oh, it is him. But it was really nice to see General Brent, like the Hux family. I was actually the start of it. I was just like, I wonder how they got involved. But yeah, so that's basically the remnants of the Empire, and they are pretty much the leaders of whatever is left, and they're the ones that have the supplies, the bombs, the ships, the TIE fighters, the TIE interceptors, and basically Moff Gideon goes and says, I need bombers. And they're like, why? And they're like, well, guess what? The Mandalorians have returned, and they've now reunited, and this is a problem. And because this is a problem, we need to get rid of the problem. And so after a little bit of debate, they're like, fine, we're Gucci to go. You'll get your bombers. You'll get your supplies. Do what you need to do. Long live the Empire. It's basically how they sounded it off. I am also very curious as to, I'm wondering if that is on Mandalore. I want more of his little layer of wherever he's at, because that entrance where he was walking in, I'm like, that's really cool. I honestly thought it looks like Mustafar. I'm like, are you in Vader's castle? Did you just go back?
I mean, it would make sense for the Shadow Council of the Empire to be somewhere like that. You have forgotten quite a major point.
What did I miss?
Who did they name drop?
Oh.
Can't believe you talked all about that, and I was like, she's going to say it. She didn't say it.
I didn't say it, but I now know who you're talking about. They did mention that Thrawn, Daddy Thrawn is returning.
It's returning.
And
Moff Gideon's not convinced. In fact,
which I'm very.
The two of them are not convinced by Thrawn.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you keep saying this. You say this every week, every time I turn up here. You're like, Thrawn this, Thrawn that. Where is he? Where is he? Where?
To be fair, it kind of reminds me of certain people that think that Cal Kestis is going to keep showing up in these live action shows.
He's not.
He's not. But Thrawn is finally being spoken like as if, no, he's actually a thing. And by the way, he will be here. And when he does, the Empire will rise up everywhere, because one of the council members said they were active, proud imperial activists all over the entire galaxy. And no one's really raving up to go with the New Republic. They're just having to deal with the New Republic.
Yeah.
So now that if Thrawn comes back, it will be a big opportunity for the Empire to just sweep them away and start anew. And of course, if you were at Celebration and you were at the Ahsoka panel and you got to see the Ahsoka trailer that was released there, I cried when I saw his face, because we know what Thrawn looks like live action, played by Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced Thrawn in Rebels. Just
I love how Lars plays him. I really do. I love how he plays Thrawn. For me, visually, he doesn't quite match. I'm okay with it, because I think he's fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to what he does. But I was just like, not quite as I envisioned. It's a difficult character to do, I know, but he's got a very long face, and for me, I was always looking at what's his name? He plays Draco's dad in Harry Potter.
Oh, Jason Isaacs.
Yeah.
Didn't some say saw anyone complaining that's a Bad Batch? Do something. So him and I, oh my God, we tortured that man over the weekend with Bad Batch things.
He got 2 posters of Bad Batch.
He did. One of them from me. There actually was a Omega cosplay and there were a lot of Bad Batch cosplays as well.
Yeah, sure.
Especially Tick and Ricka.
Tick. Everybody loves Tick.
Rip. But so Thrawn's being mentioned, and Gideon gets all his supplies, and then the plan. We go back to Navarro because now the Mandalorians are prepping to implement their plan. They're just like, let's go, and they hover above Mandalore. Bo and Din are like, just be wary of entering the planet's atmosphere. It's very, thunderous and dangerous, but once you pass, you should be fine. They go through, and basically they all touch down. They do their, they scout out a bit. Everything seems fine. And all of a sudden, I think they're looking out in the distance, and they see, it looked like Jabba's palace, that cruiser that Jabba had for
his sail barge.
It looked the same.
Oh, it was pretty much. It was a boat, essentially.
Yeah, it was a boat, and I was just like
gliding on glass.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was just like, oh, okay, so we have pirates coming after them now. I'm like, I thought we got. I was like, I thought we finished this. But I guess not.
We were done with the pirates, but apparently not.
Right. And so then they show up, and then all of a sudden they're just like, Lady Katan, like Lady Bo-Katan, like, we haven't left, like, we've been here waiting for you.
Bless their hearts.
God bless them, man.
Like,
that is
they're still living on that planet that's ruined, and they're like staunch, like, Mandalorians to the end.
But then the Mandalorians that like haven't been there in a while are shocked that the entire time they were told that it's inhabitable.
Yeah,
it has been. Like people could have came back but never have because of this curse that was placed. And then all of a sudden, you know, as of course it can never be, you know, quite nice for once, this big creature comes out and just goes ka-flum. And like
so I saw that mate, I'm sorry. Yeah, me and Chris spoke. I was just like, we didn't get to meet up over Celebration. We didn't see each other. Yeah, I know.
Oh, you were at the Lucasfilm panel when we all were meeting him. Oh my god. Oh shit.
Yeah. You guys did a lot of stuff while we were at the Lucasfilm panel. You were
and you did a lot of stuff
buddying up and leaving me out of everything. It's fine. I got to see Daisy Ridley live. It's fine.
I saw her live in 2017.
Well, that wasn't the last weekend just gone.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw a lot of people say, like, at first I thought it was the Mythosaur, but then on rewatch, it definitely wasn't. Because at first I was like, they've been attacked by this big creature, and then they just jump into a cave and they don't mention it again. And I was like, surely they would mention the fact that it was a Mythosaur. I rewatched it, and it's not a Mythosaur.
Well, also, I thought the Mythosaur is also way, way, way down there, like underwater.
At the bottom of the sea, way away. So
I was just like, that would have been like a not a jump skip and but like that was, I don't think that was it. Surely the people on the ship shot the Empire.
That's a fair point. Because they would have been shipping stuff in and out of that planet,
especially to build what they were building inside Mandalore, like.
Right there as well, because they were obviously not far away.
No, they were not. My goodness, one is shattered. His heart is shattered.
I know what that means.
Oh,
please.
I'm just checking.
Do you think I'm some kind of uneducated swine? I'm British.
Absolutely. Listen, you guys eat beans on toast. Oh no, that's intelligent.
So do you now.
Ate it once, not happening again.
That counts as eating it.
I ate 7 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Still not great. And your Chipotle sucks.
Oh, we know this.
But I'm gutted because apparently your Taco Bell was great and I did not know.
Yeah.
But your McDonald's was good. I can deal with that.
Yeah, it was all right. Sorry.
Okay.
We've got the chicken Big Mac back at the moment and it's well nice. Anyway, so yeah, big monster. They're like, no. So they run away. Obviously, we missed the main part of this with the fact that Grogu's got himself a little robot.
Oh yeah, I completely not that I completely forgot about it, but that whole scene was kind of like a fever dream because I was just like, because it's not that Star Wars should have comedy. I enjoy comedy in Star Wars. Like my favorite thing, my favorite moment from The Force Awakens is when BB-8 just basically gives the finger to Finn. It was supposed to be a high five. I mean a thumbs up. To me, was like a to him. So like I enjoy comedy, but so yeah, Grogu gets into basically IG-12, not IG-11 anymore, and Mando's like, nah, man, you're too baby for that. Like, get out of there. And he goes like, no.
But this harkens back to what you said from before, where Grogu's starting to get his own little like
voice.
I'm doing this, and I'm going to start doing more of it. And you're like, fair enough.
I'm fine with that because I feel like he is. Here's the thing: Grogu is technically 50 years old.
Yeah,
he's not. And I guess in his species, yes, he's a baby. But like to a human or to another creature, he's much older.
He's been around longer than
he's been around. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, and then of course give it another 50 years or another 100 years, and he's gonna have like we don't know what his speech is gonna be like because it could be like Yaddle who speaks in Basic, or it could be like Yoda who doesn't. And yeah, so it's very his rebellious stage is kind of giving me what Groot was giving in Marvel, how he just acted very rebellious and is kind of like a teenager, and I think that's kind of where Grogu is right now. He wants to do all these things like fight, and I get where Din's coming from. He really wants to protect him because like he has grown attached to him. he still sees him as this baby, but his development in the Force has been growing in the coming years, especially during that time where he was training with Luke and Ahsoka. So he's just, I think, Din just can't admit that his child is growing up, and he's like, no,
it's difficult being a parent, and you're like, you wanna treat your babies like babies forever, and then all of a sudden they're 17, and you're like, oh, you're bigger than me. And anyway,
but yeah, so basically, like, wrapping up that scene, Grogu gets into IG-12, is now basically this is going to be basically being his fight robot when he's not using his saber. And we're back on Mandalore.
So they run into this little cave.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, this is cool. And then all of a sudden they start going, right, well, the forge is over there. We need to get that way. Let's head there. And then they hear jetpacks. And they're like, more Mandalorians. And they're like,
no. It's not Mandalorians, ladies and gents. It is not Mandalorians. They are troopers in Beskar, which is the worst. And we're just
like, look so cool.
Oh my God. You see, like, when it comes to stuff like this in Star Wars, I get really excited for the Disney parks, because back then, whenever we had really cool armor being premiered in the movies or in a TV show, they would create the character in the parks. So when Rogue One came out and they came out with the Death Troopers, they looked so cool in the parks. Yeah. So cool compared to the First Order troopers, and so obviously so cool compared to Stormtroopers. And now that we have the Mandalorian, like, I really wish that the Disney parks would implement more of these Mandalorian characters into the realm. Because if they can have a character, like, if they can have just like Mandalorians walking around, or like those, oh my God, or have those troopers in Beskar walking around, like, that'd be cool too. But yeah. And so basically we are now fighting the Stormtroopers in full on Beskar, and they are fighting for their lives. It's like full on. This is not like a simple pew pew pew. This is like they're all battling each other in full fight mode. And all of a sudden, during all of this, the armorer takes the injured back to the ship, back to where the main lot of the Mandalorians are. And just very, very sus that she just leaves.
All at the exact time that they happen.
The timing is very weird. Yeah. And so thankfully, for the most part, they defeat all those troopers, but they are continuing to make their way down.
You saw it. The minute they ran around that corner and they're legging it, and all of a sudden, all the, like, everything's beginning to change how it looks. I'm like, that's Imperial. That's not Mandalorian.
No. It started, well, it was just, they were all wondering, like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. This is like built
by the shape of their doors.
Well, it's always that one shape. When they turned and they started noticing, when they started noticing the door, they're like, this was made. This wasn't here. This was made, which means somebody has been here and literally renovated this entire place. And once they walked in and they saw all the interceptors, which is funny enough because these are the exact same type of class ships that the First Order begins to use eventually. Like same type of quality and everything. And I was just like, so this is the beginning. I literally, in my head, I was just like, and this is the beginning of the First Order. Like, this is like, this is it. And they are just gassed. They're like gutted. They're just like, wait a minute. They've been here this entire time. Like I think that was like the gag. To me, that was the one of the gags of that episode for me. Like, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the doors close and they're trapped. And all of a sudden, we see someone very similar looking to the armorer, but in all black. And then he takes up his helmet and it's Moff Gideon. And
right.
I'm just like,
that helmet. Oh my God. I need that helmet in my life.
everyone's gonna, and literally everyone was 3. The second they saw that, everyone's like, I gotta 3D print this. Like, where's the file?
Right, I just saw someone drop a file today and it looks perfect.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So I'm gonna buy that file. I'm gonna get that helmet printed because I need it in my life.
Yep. And then basically Moff Gideon's like, see that right there on your waist, right there, Bo-Katan? We gotta stop meeting up like this. But that's mine.
Yeah.
It's not yours. It's mine. And basically, oh my God, Gideon's helmet has similar. That is true. Actually, it does. Very similar, except
with red.
With red.
Yeah, it's red instead of purple, essentially. Yeah. It's got a very similar shape to mine, that's for sure, except it's got horns.
Yeah, and they all are wearing Beskar, and he just basically says, like, everything that you have, I have too, because guess what? I've used your resources, bitches, and we're building an army that's going to be much stronger than yours, and guess what? Goodbye. Yeah. And literally, they get Din, they grab him, they hold him down, and basically the only people at this point that are not safe is Din and Paz Vizsla.
Yep.
Because Paz closes the door for everybody else and tells them to evacuate, with Bo having the dark saber, which was very smart. It was giving me very much, Qui-Gon and Phantom Menace, just going through the door and cutting it open.
You always notice that whenever they cut a circle in something, it's always way too small.
Small. I was like, you guys
just cut it big.
Just do a big circle. It's like that game. It's when I'm struggling in Lego Star Wars, like make the square.
Oh, you're all wearing armor. Make a hole big.
Oh my God. So I will say this. I think at this point, everyone thinks is convinced that Gideon is a Mandalorian, or was a Mandalorian in the past, and just kept it very quiet.
Potentially. He does seem to know what he's doing with Beskar.
Yeah. Or he's done at least extensive research on it. Like, he's done extensive research on Mandalorians, on their history, on what they use, why their metal is very impenetrable compared to others. And and then basically Paz is giving them the opportunity to escape. Din is unfortunately with now Moff Gideon. And Paz, oh my God. I've always had not a negative thing about the Vizslas, but watching the Clone Wars, I had a problem with the Vizsla clan because of the fact that they wanted to rule Mandalore, and they thought that their pure blood was the right blood about fighting, is the way to fight. They were very against Satine and her pacifist ways. But Paz Vizsla grew on me in this season. He grew on me. I think I respected him more.
Every time you thought he was going to turn,
be a dick, he not.
He just doubled down on being like the most loyal person.
The loyal person and respectful person, because he even called him out when Bo was saying, like, we need to help the people on Navarro, and saying, like, you all sat on your asses while my son was taken, and she took action immediately while you guys were just chilling there. Yeah. So, like, I'm going to ride with her. That's kind of like where my change of heart with Paz turned, and just seeing how he was defending to the end, and he got every single trooper down. He was like, we are done. And then all of a sudden it reminded me that one detail that we did not mention earlier in this council meeting with the remnants of the Empire. He asked not only for bombers, he asked for 3 Praetorian guards. And if you know what those are the guards that are basically the bodyguards of Snoke eventually. But they are trained soldiers.
So good.
And he just needed 3. He just needed 3. Mm-hmm. And I thought so, yeah. So they show up, and unalive our friend Paz. Yeah. In the most sad way possible. And he died fighting for his people. He died
saving his people.
He died saving his people. And number one, I it's crazy. It's crazy because I'm a big fan of not a big fan, but I'm a fan of The Last Jedi. So I remember them getting annihilated by Kylo, and I'm like, well, they do get annihilated at some point later down the line. But
yeah, but they clearly last a long time.
Yeah, no, they do. They're very fierce. They're fierce fighters, and so that's basically where we have left off the episode of chapter 23, the spies. And now that we're seeing the spies, yeah, the one last thing I was mentioning with the armor is that her helmet is the exact same as the one we see on Moff Gideon. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, that is intentional. That is a very intentional thing. Has blaster melting this off.
And it kept going, it was going red, and then he went out.
He went out with a G, man. He went out like an absolute G. Like, you know what? Oh, so good. So good. But yeah, that's basically the episode. And now we have the finale.
I honestly don't know where it's going.
I don't want to predict anything because at this point it can go anywhere.
I mean, surely, like, Bo-Katan's going to be riding the mythosaur, surely.
Like a bantha.
Yeah, like a bantha.
And that's
she has to, right? Because that's the only thing they've got that could battle anything.
True, and it's also, you don't bring up a creature that significant and actually show it in an episode where she's like swimming and then she just sees it, if it's not going to come back.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the mythosaur, I really hope this doesn't happen.
I've seen a lot of people say that, but it's not going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen just because here's the thing. This is where I get it kind of brought back to me. But the Mandalorian, like, yes, the show is based off of Din, Djarin, and Grogu and all of them, but it's called the Mandalorian. It is not like Din's name is not the Mandalorian. His name is Din. So it can be any type of Mandalorian. I did feel like Din became not the main character, but he became like the side character, whereas Bo rose to be the main character.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm okay with that because Katie Sackhoff's a G, and love her. So yeah, I mean, I rated the episode basically like a 9 out of 10. I think the only issue I had with this episode was the only thing I had. Actually, did I have issues with this episode? Now I think about it. No, you know what? Here's the issue I had with the episode. The beginning, when we were seeing my favorite lesbian walking through, and that was like the only time we it's kind of we kind of like forgot about her as in general. Like, I didn't see her go or try to be with Moff Gideon in any single way. I didn't even see her there. Like, she didn't take off her helmet, because it would have been cool if she was actually in one of those Beskar armors as well. Like, that would have been sick. But it seems like she's not there. So it's kind of like, well, then why was she? Okay, so she was just the spy at the beginning. Okay.
They have a lot to bring back around to finish this series off.
They do. I think he said that they were doing seasons 4 and 5, and that's about it for The Mandalorian. So season 4 will be very intriguing because that means that by the time we get to season 5 of The Mandalorian, it should be now the beginning of the First Order.
Yeah.
Timeline wise.
But also, I mean, there's a very good chance that obviously with Ahsoka coming out and Thrawn being a big part of that.
Right.
That
God.
Will cross over.
I also am surprised that we didn't. I'm not.
Shocked. Oh, let's not forget that also there's going to be a film at the end.
There is. That's very true. That's going to tie up. I hate that this word exists because it shouldn't exist. I hate it. When I saw it being used in Celebration, I was like, this is not Marvel. This is not Disney. This is not. It's Star Wars. You don't put the word verse and shit. Like, this is not DC. It's not the Mandoverse. It's just the trilogy. it's the Star Wars universe. Just the era between,
But so I reckon
Empire.
We're gonna have 3 seasons of Ahsoka.
That'd be great.
Because that would tie into seasons 4 and 5 of Mando. Because if season 1 of Ahsoka comes out this year, same as season 3 of Mando, and seasons 2 and 3 will come out same as 4 and 5, all to wrap up in one film at the end.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, we're not using the word verse. We are not using the word verse. We are not using the word verse. It's stupid. I love. Don't get me wrong. I love I love Arrow. I love Flash. I love them individually, but when they call it the Arrow, I hate it.
I'm alright with it.
Oh, it's just. I know. It's fine. Thank you for being here, by the way, this entire time, because I was just like, people pop and go, but you've been here, man.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically it. I can't predict anything what the next episode's going to bring. I can't believe how fast this has been.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
We knew the Mandalorian season 3 should have been wrapping up shortly after Celebration was going to be over, but I didn't expect, Celebration to go by so fast. And here we are.
It's been crazy. Now here we are. We're like a few days from the finale of Mando. Like, it's crazy. It's
literally okay. Because I'm going to go to Tokyo. So if you want to connect on a trip, I'll do that, man. Jim's not going to go to Tokyo. Jim will catch it in Orlando. Also,
I didn't meet him at Celebration. I was gone apparently when you met everybody.
I just there was a time of the day that I kind of dedicated to message everybody and me saying, "Hey, where are you?" Because I started noticing a lot of people's stories.
You see, I didn't message anyone.
Well, because you were experiencing and taking it all in, and thank you. I was just basically I don't know, because I knew that this will be my one opportunity to meet a lot of the UK creators that I will not ever see again, at least unless they come to celebrate to the States or they come to a Disney World and I'm just happen to meet at the same time or next Celebration. So I wanted to get all my friends and meet them and just be like, "Hi, how are you?" and kind of put the face to the account. And of course, pass out my stickers, which I came back with so many left. So I have to figure out a way how to. So I may have to. I am going to Disney.
When are you going to do another YouTube video, Nat?
Actually, I'm editing my video. I'm editing my video right now. Thank you very much. I am editing. So for those watching, I did a Celebration recap video. I'm not posting all my videos from Celebration in there. I'm just kind of talking about my experience, my day, how every single day was, my pros and my cons.
Post that question. I don't mind answering the question.
There's a big
reason why neither one of us were featured in those photos. A big reason. If you want to know the truth, hit me up on Instagram and I'll tell you everything. But there's a reason.
Yeah. I could. Yeah. Same sentiments of answering that question. There's a reason why we were not in that. Oh, thank you so much. No, seriously, I have I was just telling Jim, all the stickers I've received from Celebration are now I put a couple of them on my PC. At least right here, there's a couple in the back, Star Wars Sith. A bunch of yours is on the back of my PC and the back of my monitor.
I didn't take any stickers to celebrate. I did take some, but I actually only printed out 10 of each of my stickers.
And I have now 1. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah, because I wanted to load up my PC regardless with stickers. So that's kind of why I did the whole stickers exchange thing. But I'm glad that I was
on
able
my laptop.
I do have but the PC is the more important one. So.
There's a good chance that this is going to knock my camera out, but there you go. There you are.
I like that. Oh, they look good. I love that hair in Kanan one.
It's great,
in the Ghost. Oh my god.
Yep.
Wait, whose sticker is that?
Oh, it's my amazing missus got me that.
Wait, I gave Jim a couple.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I gave you.
You gave me one.
No. Okay, I will.
And it's on my laptop.
Cass, I will find a way to ship it to you and ship an additional 6 for your kids. So everyone has it. Oh, thank you so much. Meeting your family, Sheena, was a pleasure. I was so happy to meet you in person. They're the absolute best people. I know it was very chaotic the day we all met. Saturday was probably the busiest day because that's when a lot of people actually showed up to Celebration. But such a pleasure to meet you. If we did meet in person, I just know that I was very, very, very happy to be there. Very happy to meet you. I miss this man like no tomorrow. Like, you are my best friend. You don't understand. I was crying. I was in tears at the airport. Tears, and then I was dying because I left Celebration with COVID. So.
Yeah. We had a good time though. It was really nice to be able to. It's one of those things where you're like, obviously you and I have been lucky enough to meet before Celebration, but it's nice when you meet the people that you only know from the internet and you meet them in real life and they're the same people that you think they are.
Exactly. They're not fake. Like, they're not mean. They're like kind.
Everything you see is everything that they are.
And we had like a really good group of people. Like everything was positive, happy, enjoyable. We were all understanding if someone wasn't feeling good or just somebody who just needed a time to sit down and just sit it out a bit. That was fine. It was a really great time. And I wish we can redo it again. And if so, I would probably not eat the mac and cheese that I did on day 1. That's about it.
Fair. I had these really nice rice bowls every time I had something to eat. They were really nice.
I will say that falafel that I had day 1, great. The only thing that sucked about me eating it was my makeup coming off. But then, our good friend Autumn hooked me up with her makeup and that shit stayed on. Thank you.
I feel quite lucky in the fact that I've met Sheena numerous times. Like we're familiar at this point.
I know. Well, you guys are my familia across the pond, and I just, oh my gosh, are you guys? I'm gonna watch them. You can shout out in the comments if you are. Did you guys buy tickets to go see Return of the Jedi in theaters on April 28th?
No.
No?
No, I recently saw Return of the Jedi in concert.
Oh.
With a live orchestra and everything, and that was at the Royal Albert Hall.
That's a beautiful building, by the way.
It's absolutely stunning. So for me, I'm like, cinema's a cinema, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna try, well, because I don't know if I can, because that's a damn one in Hollywood Studios. It's also my last day working at the job I have. So yeah, and
that's the other thing is Jedi Survivor drops. And
I have to finish Fallen Order.
If people out there don't know, yesterday was my last official day working for Padawan Outpost. I am still working with them on some things, but I won't be at the job every day like I was, which does mean that I have a lot more free time to play Jedi Survivor.
I need to binge Fallen Order because I realize how far I am, and I'm like, oh, this is really bad.
Every planet at least twice, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You've done 3.
I will say I have charged up my Cal Kestis. I love it. It's great.
It's a nice saber.
It's a nice saber. Everyone needs to. Well, I think if you have the EA pass or the EA Pro Play Pass, Survivor is going to come already in it. So like that's sick. But yeah, order it if you don't have it. Stop, Jim.
I know. But it's all right. I'm still there. Like I'm still going to be doing like designs for them. Obviously, this is one of my newest T-shirt designs that I did for them. But yeah, I'm still doing stuff with them. You do. I'm still doing stuff with them. I just can't physically make it to the warehouse anymore. So, because life changes and things like that. But I'm still very much They're still like
I will
friends.
So I will be doing a review of actually my sabers. So not only am I doing a video on my recap of Celebration, I will be doing a review of basically all the sabers I have acquired within the past year. That does include my Obi-Wan Profi Saber, my Dark Ray, Xenopixel, and the Cal Kestis that I just got.
Nice.
So I will be making videos again. Because you know who actually encouraged me to do it, and she was surprised that I didn't? My mom.
Oh, really?
Because I was on FaceTime with her last night, and if you guys want to stick around for the story, by all means, listen. And I would never have expected this from my mother. I was showing her everything that I brought back from Celebration because she was just like, "Oh, did you spend a lot of money?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." And she goes, "On what?" I'm like, "Mainly food, because it's expensive over there to eat." And I showed her the saber that I have that I got from Padawan Outpost, and she goes, "So." Because she's been over to my studio and she has seen my sabers, but she doesn't understand the difference between a quality saber and a Disney saber. So I had to show it to her on camera, and she goes like, "Well, why don't you do this kind of video like on YouTube or something?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, you know what? I never thought about doing it like that." And she goes like, "No, I think that would be really, really helpful if you were to show the difference between a Disney saber and the quality and the ones you have." And she goes, "So now that you have all those sabers, question, how much do they all cost?" And I'm just like, don't ask me a question. So yeah, I will be making videos in the near future. And by near future, I mean like this upcoming week. Now that I kind of I'm recovering, like now my symptoms are gone. Thank goodness. I should be clear to leave my house, I think in the next 2 days. So I'm no longer contagious. But during that time, I'll probably, since I'm still going to be home, I'm going to take the time and make more videos.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Now I have more time. I am going to be doing a couple more videos as well.
I can't wait for your Lego videos. I cannot wait.
So many to do. So like this last week, I haven't done one video. I normally try and release a video a week. But this week has been busy and I haven't done it.
As we were so busy, so that makes sense. Don't even apologize for anything.
There will be a Jim's Cantina coming with like my review of everything that happened at Celebration, and also this week I've managed to acquire like 3 lightsabers.
That you did.
So yeah, I've got 2 Saber Trio sabers that I need to do a review on. I might do them both in one. So I've got a lot of stuff still to do. The Lego videos, I still need to do a load of those because I've got 3 new sets that I haven't even built yet. So there's that. And yeah, I need one of those. I mean, to be fair, I've still got Sheena's in my other room. So at the moment, I'm all right.
Yeah, his collection in person to see is chef's kiss.
I don't think people realize how big that is.
No, it's huge. It's apt. I am tiny. I am nothing compared to that.
Like it looks like, oh yeah, he's got a bit of Lego.
Well, no,
but when you do this,
the door is behind you. Like if you open the door, yeah, it's like it's huge. It's ginormous. Like
that's when you really notice how big it is.
Yeah. And then he just gets more.
Yeah. And then I just keep filling up the shelves and going, shit, I need more shelves.
But with that being said, we're going to wrap up this Rebel Base Radio. Jim and I are actually going to be on Sem's Nerds 4-year anniversary live stream literally in less than a minute.
Yep.
Because that's when it's going to start. Because he just messaged me that they're going 15 minutes late. So
we're going to jump off of here, but join us over on Sem's Nerds channel because we'll be there. So have a great day. Have a great night. We'll see you in a second. May the force be with you. Peace.